Yeah, well, this year, you know, I've got a focus on the Champions Trophy. So Champions Trophy is definitely at the top of my list of things to win. So I've left no stone unturned training for that. I pretty much started straight away as soon as I heard the dates come out back in January. So I've had a pretty solid training run.
He will be taking on World Rookie Champion Daniel Gurr in this David versus Goliath battle.
After winning the Rookies, I got a lot of experience from that. So, yeah, competition experience is always good, competing on the big stage. So, yeah, I'll definitely be out there prepared to go well.
3, 2, 1, go!
There is more than bragging rights being played for in this heat. O'Toole has never won the Champions Trophy before and will not like the thought of being jumped over by Tasmanian Dan Gurr. With clean stock saw runs, Gurr's cookie drops first and he'll have the advantage in the transition to O'Toole. But with a hit on O'Toole, Gurr will have to hold his own as O'Toole is one of the best and technically astute axemen in the world. With his tall frame and extra leverage, he is slaying the underhand block. They are both going at the backside, looking to get the jump into the single buck and an advantage at the halfway point. And O'Toole is through. He easily made up the ground and has come out ahead. Gurr is powering with his axe, hoping not to fall too far behind and stay in this race. O'Toole is putting on a clinic in the single buck. He's using every inch of the peg and raker to maximise the cutting power of his single buck saw. His rhythm is flawless and Gurr has a long way to go if he's to make up any time that he lost in the underhand chop. But with a slight hang-up on the final drawback, O'Toole is through the log and will have a clear advantage into the standing block. It will be almost impossible for Gurr to get back in this heat. From here, he can take it easy, knowing he's put in the hard work at the beginning of this heat and can rest as he cruises to the finish. With a semi-final and possibly a grand final to go, this will be his opportunity to take a breather in preparation for what could lay ahead. Gurr is now on the standing block and will give it everything to stay competitive. But O'Toole is on the backside, putting a few easy drivers, and he's through to the semi-finals. Gurr saves face with a solid standing block cut, but it's not enough this time.
Daniel's a great axeman, but he is only just a rookie. In the future years to come, though, I expect him to become really strong. So I was, you know, happy to come up against him and move on.
In the last quarter-final heat, Brent Rees will need to give it everything as he comes up against last year's Australian Champions Trophy winner, Mitch Argent.
Once he gets onto that stand block, he's just so strong, and so he's a guy, just because you're in front, don't slow down, he's coming.
Queenslander Mitch Argent also has a very clear idea of what he needs to do to gain that semi-finals berth.
I think you just get out there and just rip into it from the moment you pick that chainsaw up, you know, and you don't sort of think about it too much. I think you sort of just get out there and give it everything you got, and a bit of wood, and you've got to get through it as quick as you can. That's the truth of it, you know, you can overthink it, and a lot of people do.
3, 2, 1, go!
This heat should be fairly evenly matched, but Argent has the advantage. By setting a top 4 time in the time trial, he has one less run under the belt than Rees, allowing him more rest. Will that extra rest make the difference in this heat? They get to the standing block together and Rees powers at the block with his added leverage. The Queensland powerhouse in Argent is smashing that block to pieces with pure brute force as they turn to the backside together. They are both in sync with axes smashing the block simultaneously. But it's Rees with the advantage into the single buck. This is just what he would be looking for. But he can't get his saw started. He needs to get it in that groove, and he's lost valuable time with that mistake. Argent is now at the single buck. Being the monster Argent is on the final discipline, Rees really needs to pull out a long way ahead of Argent if he's going to take the win. Rees has long fluid strokes that will have the cookie drop well ahead of Argent. He will need to get a bunch of hits on Argent to get some clean air. Oh, Argent's single buck sticks. He must know he has a bit to do now to catch Rees, but he is one of the most capable at doing so. Rees turns now for the backside, and you can bet that Argent will turn shortly. They are both on the backside, and it will come down to this. Big hits going in from Argent. Rees goes to knock the block off, and he's through. Argent is home too, but it is not good enough, and that will see last year's champion knocked out of the competition.
No, I'm puffing now, but I've really done the mental work, and I think that's what really helps towards the end when you're knackered, your arms are heavy, it feels that X feels like it's about 100 tonne, but it's just the mental stage comes in, and you just got to push yourself through it.